Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I just saw your line, Mel. Oh no, me shoes. And thank you, Mel, for the raid. I don't know if I have to leave a space, as in like this is a copy edit thing, or if I have to leave the space, like my stream. Which if I do, I mean, okay, bye. I feel like there's a lot of in-jokes happening. Anyway, good to see you all. Welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan. It's good to see you, Arium Legend. Good to see you, Bad Rocks. Good to see you, Nathan. Good to see you, Beer Fox. Good to see you, TC. Good to see you, Inca. Good to see you, Mel. And Beer Fox, welcome on in. And Arium Legends, congratulations. You've won the crown of Firstendom. The first, before the raids, a crown leading us boldly to new spaces. But welcome on in. And Nathan, I think what you're describing, I won't use the term partial possession. I just use the concept of temptation, concupiscence, sin, the wages of sin, and all that. But anyway, oh no, we gotta jump to the game quick. Oh no, where'd he go? He's supposed to show up. Hold on. Oh no, he's on cooldown. I'm sorry, TC. We'll fix this. Oh, it's an Alonso quote. Oh, okay. No, because in Invisalign, we'd still see his head. If you talk to me every lap, I will disconnect the radio. Wow. Alonso and his team might need just some bonding experiences. Anyway, we're going to be keeping up with Kena Bridge of Spirits today. Hey, you got pink. Anyway, last time we helped this dude's spirit go to rest, and he left with his siblings. And now I think we're supposed to go higher up the mountain. So I think we head back to town, and there's supposed to be something we do there. So how do I get back to town? I guess I just follow this river. Yeah, look at that little guy. Hey, Craig. Laetare Sunday is not happening until... that's the 4th Sunday, so a week from Sunday. They may not publicly advertise it, Nathan. Oh no, the Ides of March. Wait, I have Mass on the Ides of March. I don't remember how to leave here. Okay, I guess I follow this path to my right. So I was passing through the office to fill up my water bottle before stream, and I hear in one of my coworkers' offices talk about Stanley Tucci and J-Lo, and I'm struggling to figure out the connection. Whee! There we go. That was the button I was looking for.
Right there.
Just having meltdown mayhem. We've reached peak meltdown. Oh no. Anytime someone says we're at the peak of meltdown, somehow life finds a way to prove us wrong. Well, that's new. Trials. Interact with Forgotten Carving, Behind the Mask, Shrine to replay bosses. Ah, okay. Already in full meltdown mode. It's a cascade failure.
Taro rests with his siblings now. I imagine the corruption in the forest has cleared as well.
I know it was time for Benny and Saya to move on with their brother, but the forest won't be the same without them.
It's natural to build a connection with the spirits we help. We give up a part of ourselves when they move on. But the bond still remains.
That's some implications about what they believe about the afterlife.
The path of a spirit guide is a lonely one. There is still work to be done if you wish to reach the mountain shrine. A skilled woodsmith once lived in our village and built structures beyond anyone's imagination. Search the fields beyond the storehouse for her troubled spirit.
A deer's mask. Not a deer's mask. Also, what's a woodsmith? Is that actually a term? Oh, look. We can see some spirits here. What's the most expensive thing I ever ate or drank? Probably the time that my uncle took me to a very nice restaurant in the Bellagio in Vegas. Am I ever going to come back to Vegas? I mean, I've got a friend who's in Vegas. He's a priest there. So I want to go visit him at some point. I don't know when, though. Because anytime I'm out that way, I'm visiting my family. I've got glowy rocks, and I cannot seem to do anything with them. Yeah.
Over there.
I had this bad cough over the weekend, and now I still have a... You can probably still hear it, but I have a lump in my throat, and it's obnoxious. But praise God for Fisherman's Friend since 1865. You woke up with strep? Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. I hope you feel better soon. If I gamble and win, donate some winnings to the church, does that reduce the sin of gambling? Well, gambling is not inherently a sin. Gambling can be sinful when it's done to excess to the detriment of yourself and others. Say if you take your family's savings to do it. But I understand it's not uncommon for the cathedral in Vegas to receive donations in the form of chips. Ow. Okay, well that was a good warm-up. Yeah, it's what I said, Sub-Zero. It's not a sin in and of itself. It can be sinful, but it's like drinking. Drinking is not inherently sinful. Use the casino slots in Vegas. Magically woke up with 100,000. No, if I woke up with $100,000, I'd probably take a nice vacation with it and donate it. The rest. If I woke up with a lot of money, I would not gamble it. I'd be like, cool. This is enough. You don't recommend gambling? That's valid. Yeah, I'd probably report it. Well, I'd report it, to be honest. Like, if I woke up and I saw that in my bank account, I'd probably first call my bank and be like, this isn't normal.
All right. Yo. Right there.
Never gamble with the aim of winning. That's, yeah. My funniest gambling story, and it has no money on the line. We were just playing with chips, with no value, but we just played poker in college with some friends, and at one point, I was dealt a hand, and I didn't even look at it. I just kept betting higher and higher until I bet all in. Wound up just absolutely crushing with like a flush or something. Yeah, things like Kalshi I'm very wary of because those can be quite predatory on people with gambling addictions, so... Gamble $100,000, win 10. Ah, yes. You have to take $20 to an arcade. That's also valid. Vegas has some nice arcades. Okay, this looks like where I'm going to need to bring her mementos to fight her. Church has a 50-50 lottery. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of funny how some places will have anti-gambling laws, but churches are still allowed to have raffles and lotteries that have cash prizes. If you win the bet, you'll use the shared savings to buy us pizza. If I win the bet, I'll use the shared savings to buy us pizza. You want to go to Vegas for the Grand Prix? I have a feeling tickets there are less expensive than Monaco. Hey, Jeesh, you want me timed out? Gonna mod time out, Jeesh? for a little bit. Help him focus. How you doing, Jeesh? You can say things quickly before you get timed out. Vegas is the most expensive Grand Prix. Weirdly enough, that actually sounds right. Yeah, bye. There you go. Let's see what's focus. Time out. Let's time you out. There you go. Is it okay to pray to God to win the lottery? Yeah, so long as you're not upset when you don't win. That's a big door.
You're going to need more power to get that door moving. Energy has not flowed here for a long time. The land has begun to heal. Is this your doing?
My name is Kena. I helped Benny and Saya free Taro's spirit. I'm on my way to help the woodsmith. Do you know her?
Yes, I know Adira.
She is Adira.
She was a great woodsmith. Together we found a way to capture the
Nope,
energy
never mind.
of the
She's not
mountain
Adira.
shrine.
I was expecting an Obi-Wan Kenobi moment.
She believed we could harness the resources of this land to sustain the village forever. But that dream faded long ago. We've only just met, but I can tell you have a strong connection to the spirit realm. You carry the same energy that flows through these roots. It must be what drew you to this place.
No, I was drawn to this place because of my quest. Hello.
With focus, you can gather that energy.
Yeah, new ability. You think we should just abstain from drinking coffee?
Your
I
bomb
mean,
should prove useful in powering up. We need to repair the power mechanisms to open the passage. Take a look up there and see if you can get things working.
there is at least one pope who will strongly disagree with you. Ow! My own thing exploded on me. Okay. I don't get it. I think you are going to, unfortunately, get tomatoes thrown at you. There's a great number of saints who are patron saints of things like beer and wine and proud makers of them. I am figuring it out. Yeah, particularly the Belgian monasteries. They make the best beer in the world. West Viderland 12, like it's not even like a, that's not even like a joke. That's a, they literally regularly win competitions. I got crushed by the rocks. You've had West Viderland. That's impressive. Getting your hands on some is not easy. What? These are glowing. Hey, Britt. Am I gonna play GTA 6? Not likely. I've not played a single GTA and I'm not really interested. I'm doing just fine. Getting over a cough I had over the weekend, so I might sound a little off, but drink it almost like one. Well, that's basically, yeah, how you have to drink it. It's so good. When I was in seminary, a fellow seminarian was given a bottle, and we split it. It was just like, oh. I understand why the monks make this so hard to get. Because the thing is with West Viderland 12 is basically you have to call up the monastery and wait for a response. And then they're like, okay, well, meet us at the gate on this day. And you'll get, and this is how much you'll have to pay. And then you show up and they give you an amount of beer that they deem appropriate. You don't get to pick how much. Beer tastes like doorknobs? I mean, you are allowed that opinion. I will disagree with you, but you are allowed that opinion. I'm also questioning how many doorknobs you've tasted, but... Are we already at the Aqua section of Kingdom Hearts 3? It sure looks it. It's a shame that the one American monastery that was allowed to brew Trappist beer with the label discontinued their practice of it. They just couldn't keep it going. Beer tastes like what catnapping a sunbeam feels like. I think you drink too many IPAs. Dad is Baptist. Ah. Well, that's a good thing to pray for. I hope that that happens for them. Lambeck, ooh. Yeah, it's not Trappist, but those are very much a, you either love it or you hate it.
Nice work. One more left.
Utterly exhausted, oh no. Look at 138, ugh, that is rough. It's wise that you took a sick day. Get some rest. Prayers for health and recovery. Oh, Dios. Is that just to teach me how that works, I guess? That's not actually how to get up there? But thanks be to God, you did figure it out for yourself, so. That is a giant stone wheel. Oh, look at all the lanterns. That's pretty. Oh, dear. Oh, hey, it's the let's learn how to use this ability in combat time. Ow. Oh, okay. Gotta use an arrow. So, Beer Fox, I saw that the call for Doxicon papers went out. What do you think you're going to try and write on? He said, I'm not going to steal your ideas, I promise. Whoa. Back off, buddy. That's valid, Nathan, but yeah, it's valid. No buts. I don't know why I said but. Can't energy drink you enjoy in college, nostalgia. You have formation that weekend. Call in sick. A kid. Please attend your deacon formation. I can reset this before it falls. Tell them a priest still just calling sick. Pretty sure that goes real well. Well, I mean, consider. Ow! That did go well. Considering it's headed up by a priest, they'd probably understand. But we have a roadster. If you watch the 12:10 Mass, you'll get a different homily because the book was set up wrong or something. Anyway. Oh, look, it's a little beetle hat. That's cute. In the gospel today, Jesus tells his followers, listen to what the Pharisees and scribes have to say, but don't be like them. Which I find a very interesting thing, and it's one where it's very unlike how we really tend to think of those sort of things in the modern age, but just that sense of him calling the disciples to that personal conversion and the witness that that brings. I had a lot of thoughts about this gospel today, but there's only so much you can do in a single homily. Oh, okay, well that opened that up. Well, we leave that up to God, but I do believe and hope in a God who is love and is forgiving. So.
That should do it. Come down and let's get this door open.
Right, Brayherd, but it's just, you know, if someone were to say one thing and then live another in our modern age, we'd probably be like, not listen to you, period. It's interesting. How do I activate the mask? There we go. Maybe that's not what I was supposed to do. Yeah, practice what you preach. Well, that's very fitting, especially for you, given that that is an actual line in the ordination prayer of a deacon. We're connecting. Hey, Dio. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for the raid. How'd the rest of your Slay the Spire run go? Did you beat the heart?
Zero, what have you done?
Caused a fire, apparently. But welcome on in, Raiders. My name is Father Evan. I'm a Catholic priest streaming here on Twitch 4 days a week, looking at the intersection of faith and gaming. Right now we're playing Dio and we're playing Dio. Oh my goodness. We're playing Cana, Bridge of Spirits. There's only a little fire. According to your lectionary, hey, hold on. Listen here, you on the Byzantium calendar. Hi, K-Max. You got to the heart, but the heart was too hardy. Yeah, the heart is, well, hardy. Hey, K-Max, welcome on in, Raiders. How is Sonic 06? The suffering. Yeah, if you like to watch someone play bad games, K-Max was playing literally one of the worst. Sonic's story is done. Oh, well. Unfortunately, there's a lot more of the game to go. Gets better the further in you get. No, I think you just get more acclimated to it. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? There you at. Ow. Ow. How did you do that? It's like torture, but with hedgehogs. They're using hedgehogs to torture you? Okay, you're not supposed to be doing that. That sums up a lot of the Bible is X, you're not supposed to be doing that. Kana, what did you do? Or Kana, it's Kana. We finally have confirmation. It's Kana. Just make a little screenshot for the YouTube. I tried making a button that did that, and it didn't work. A father joke. So I heard at the UN no less, they have an addendum on something they're passing. And it's going to make it so that lying to your children is illegal. You're not allowed to lie to your children anymore. They're calling it the Santa Claus. What? Oh, it is all dark and spooky in there. That is an appropriate reaction, Beer Fox. This tree is on fire. No, no, no. You can't fool me. There's no such thing as a sanity clause.
I can feel her presence everywhere. These fields are scarred with memories of destruction. What could have happened here?
We need to find 3 relics to help Deer. There's something buried beneath the poison over there. That might be a good place to start looking.
Twitch muted the worst song in Sonic 06. Oh no. I like that I had the audio of Face My Fears completely muted the other day in Kingdom Hearts. And gosh, spooky guy. And yet the VOD still got muted. Yeah, well, it's probably because of other music. A lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 onward VODs get muted just because of the music in general. hear something. Ah! Oh, right. I should have hit that so that it would rotate. There we go. Now where? Okay, it's not that, because that's too far out. Wonder if... Well, let's just keep exploring. You got Invisalign. Make it kind of violetish. Good for the season. I don't think they're going to catch many fish with these nets, with everything that's going on in this water. Ow! Why? Why do these little things have to explode? Got him.
There. Over there.
Know where to take these things.
Right there. There.
Because I can't get them to go up this little lip. I wonder if they'll move something that Ken is on. You just want to post Lenten candy points? Oh, look at that. They will move something that I'm standing on. Yeah, it is kind of like the little soot guys from Spirited Away. Oh yeah, this looks like a combat arena. Okay, stop making it explode, guys. Ow! Vine Knight? Bro, Vine is dead. Bro, I'm almost dead. That hitbox is unfair. Yeah, lots of life is unfair. Oh, wait. Oh, I almost hit that one on his hip. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to not cough directly into the mic. Fine, be that way. Yeah, look who beat the Vine Knight on the first try. Vinny is trying to clean Thorin, and Thorin thinks he's attacking him, so Thorin is attacking Vinny. If I didn't know those were your cats. Finding magic crystals to buy my little guy's hats. Oh, there it is. I'm like, there should be something to clear. Look at that. Pretty again. Well, that looks like it's further up the mountain. I have a feeling bad things will happen if I jump off the cliff here. I have another Jamble. What will I beat this time? Probably not the game.
Over there.
Oh, it's the seed. Where do I plant it? There it is. There's nothing to clear around here. That's weird. Well, let's explore the area a little bit. See if we can find some rots to join us. Like that. Nope, that's bad spooky noises. Ow. Jerk. Ow, you jerk. Okay, apparently my rot took care of it. Oh, nope, he's back. Ow. Ow. Was any gambling on that? No, 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 no. No, you're not allowed to heal yourself. That is verboten. Ow! Quit spamming fireball. Cannot heal himself. He cannot use fireball. What is he allowed to do? To stop existing.
Get that. Right over there.
Father Heaven beats boss first try. Dies to random enemy. Well, it is a Souls-like. Oh, it's like a Souls-light. It's the I'm bad at Souls-likes. Here's an easy one to play. Like. Go! Yeah, I bet this is exactly what it looked like before we showed up. What do you mean this is an arena? The circular space with a healing flower in the middle of it? An arena? Surely not. Ow! Weren't you a boss in the last area? You need to play some neuron activation. Yeah, there's a game, neuron activation. Hey, a Mountie. So it's your birthday this week? No. No, we're celebrating birthdays tomorrow in Busted Halo. We don't always get to celebrate on their birthday. That's how birthdays in the work we tend to, work. So I'm pretty good. Just dying to enemies in the Dana here. This game looks fun. It is. It's very pretty. It's very fun. If you like Souls-likes, you'll find it too easy, but that is kind of its gameplay loop. Ads on Twitch chat. More like anything. When your birthday comes around. I feel like there's more to that sentence. There we go.